All right, buddy. So go ahead and tell the people your name and where you're from if they haven't seen the very first episode that we did.
Absolutely. My name's Sean Hopkins, and originally I'm from Virginia Beach. I kind of grew up all over, though. I was a military brat,
Yeah.
so I've left the country. I've lived kind of all over, but I've been in Kentucky for like the last 20 years, so I guess this is home now.
Ever been to Kentucky Derby?
No, 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 I never.
You might gotta try that, man.
I might have to. Excuse me. I might have to put it on my bucket list, man. I got
Yeah,
a bucket list now.
I know that's right. Where get the missus or the mom or something to wear one of those big old fancy hats.
Big goofy hats they wear. I know. I might have
That's
to.
right, man. But look, ladies and gentlemen, he came on to the show. I think you were the second episode that I did. When I first started doing all these interviews, I really didn't expect so many crazy, wild convict stories. You know what I mean? I was kind of just listening to any kind of story. It didn't really matter what it was. And you came on with a wild paranormal story about kind of leaving your body while you were sleeping and seeing yourself from above, correct?
Yeah, I wasn't sleeping though. That's what people think. Because they like to attribute
Oh,
it.
yeah. I remember now. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they like to. People like to, just take the easy way out and the scientific way out all the time. So a lot of people will just say, oh, it was probably sleep paralysis or something along those lines. But I mean, if you lived it like I did, for sure, like it's not sleep paralysis. I
Yeah,
wasn't
man.
even, I wasn't even asleep. I had just got home. I wasn't even home 2 minutes. I
Yeah.
literally laid in my bed. I don't even think I kicked my shoes off yet. I just lay down to watch TV and it just, bam, it just, you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
have to
And
go
you,
back and watch it.
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave it linked and pinned in the comment section for y'all to check out. But look, some people would tell me that, and I'm like, man, you're just batshit crazy. But you kind of, you definitely seem like you got a head on your shoulders, man. You down to earth. You don't seem like, you're losing your marbles or anything. But you know, yesterday or a day before, I did my very first paranormal investigation, right, at this haunted
Yeah,
hotel, and I'm about to drop the video today. And so much shit happened in that room, man, that
really.
it was my first and last time doing it. You know what I
Oh, I
mean?
bet, man. There's nothing to play with, man.
It's nothing to play with, and I went in there just messing around. When I came home and actually broke down everything that I mean, it's unbelievable. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. Uh, people can
You
say
know,
what they people can
not
say
to
what
cut
they
you off.
want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not to cut you off, Dad. I was just going to tell you, when I played with the Ouija board, they'll have to go back and listen to the story. But when I played with that Ouija board, I thought it was a joke too, brother. That's
Yeah,
why I was the only one playing with. None of my friends wanted to even mess with it. So I put it
yeah.
on my lap, on my legs, on my knees, and I just started talking to, spirits or whatever. I thought it was a joke, man. I really
Yeah,
did.
and that's what most people think. They don't really know the seriousness. I knew the seriousness, but I haven't witnessed it yet. I kind of need to be the person to witness it.
Yeah.
Um, but I knew the seriousness in it. Me and my wife love to watch ghost shows and horror movies. So we just said, you know what, we're gonna go to the most haunted place near us and try it out. And damn, if we got more damn evidence than we've seen
Really.
on the ghost hunter shows itself. You know what I mean?
It's a real
Uh,
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary, man. But since we're talking about the spirit, the supernatural, and all that, um, what brings you here today, man? You have a pretty powerful message for people. You going through a situation right now, man. Why don't we talk
I
about that a little
am.
bit?
I am. A couple months ago, I started getting these sharp pains in my stomach, and I didn't really think too much of it, man. I suffer from what's called ulcerative colitis. It's pretty much like Crohn's disease. It's like they call it the brother to Crohn's. So I usually just tell people I have Crohn's disease because most people don't know what ulcerative colitis is, unless you look it up. But I have a stomach problem, IBS problem. Anyway,
Where were
so
the pains coming from? Like upper, lower?
man, it would be different spots. Like sometimes it would be mainly lower, but it would be, sometimes on my left side, sometimes on my right side. And I just attributed it to the IBS that I have,
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
didn't really think too deep into it. I just thought, this is the pain that I guess comes with having this IBS. You know what I mean? Because I just found out I got IBS. I just got diagnosed with that about 2015, I think.
uh huh.
I just attributed it to that for a while, and I let the pains go on for like months and
Yeah,
months. And then, man, you got to trust your own body, man. I should have trusted my own body and knew like, oh, this is something's deeply wrong here. But I just
And all
sometimes,
and all the weight loss, man. If you look back at your earlier, I'd say about 2 3 years ago in your Instagram photos, man, you were a big boy. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, I was up, my heaviest, I was up to like 230, I think.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, usually I stayed around 215, 220, but yeah, now I'm barely hanging on to 180. And, just to let your people know, I got diagnosed with cancer about, man, I'd say what, 2 weeks ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago. Um, they told me that I basically went into the hospital and told them that my stomach really hurt, and they were like, "Well, your insurance hasn't kicked in yet, or we don't see that you have insurance. So if you want to get a CAT scan, you're gonna have to pay for it out of pocket." It was like $700 or something. I was like, "Look, it's whatever, man. I gotta figure this. I gotta see what's up." So I signed that, and they scanned it, and sure enough, man, they told me that. Well, first they tell me, "Hey, your appendix is ruptured, and you need to get to a hospital like ASAP." They call me like the next day and tell me that. And so when I get to the hospital, they say, "Well, actually, your appendix isn't ruptured, but you have a cancerous tumor. It's called a neoplasm, but a cancerous tumor basically ruptured on my appendix." And now they changed it again. Now they did more tests, and they said that my appendix actually is ruptured. So I'm walking around right now with a ruptured appendix and a
That's
ruptured.
crazy, man.
Yeah, it
So
is.
what? I mean, what stage cancer did they diagnose you with?
Stage 4 cancer. That's all they told me. I guess there's a stage 4 advanced. They didn't tell me advanced, so I'm guessing it's just stage 4. See, the problem with it is, though, they told me that a lot of people they say, don't worry, you can beat this. You can beat this. You can beat cancer. Don't worry, you're strong. You're young. You're tough. You can do this. But see, the doctor's telling me that I can't beat it, no matter how young or strong I am, because you know, he's saying that, pretty much that it's on my arteries and it's already spread to like all my organs. So, uh, he can't, basically it's inoperable. He can't cut it out. He can't cut all the tumors out. So basically they're going to, I have surgery tomorrow, actually. I have to
But
be up.
I hate to stop you, man.
Yep.
It's just weird because most people when uh the doctor tells them, hey, you got like 3 4 months left to live. There ain't nothing we could do. They don't even give you any kind of surgery or any of that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's strange how he would say something like that, but then continue with all the surgeries and the chemo.
Yeah. Well, what had happened was they took a I guess you would call it a biopsy. I'm not sure, but they took fluid out of my stomach, because when that tumor ruptured in my stomach, I guess it let loose a bunch of fluid, a bunch of cancerous fluid in my stomach, and then that just started spreading. And the doctor said he thinks it's been in there, it's spreading like that for at least over a year or two. So
And you
basically,
didn't feel sick or anything like that? No, shivers, cold sweats, nothing else besides a little stomach pain?
well, you see how much weight
And
I've
weight
lost.
loss. Yeah, and weight loss, of
Yeah,
course.
the weight loss has killed me, man. I eat all the time. I couldn't figure it out. Like, man, why am I losing so much weight? Is it really this Crohn's disease? Then I look up other people with the ulcerative colitis that I had, and they didn't seem, they didn't seem to be having the weight loss issues I did. But no, and I really didn't see this coming, man. I really didn't. I mean, it was just pains in my stomach. That was it. Whoever thinks they would possibly have cancer, this is something that you don't think will happen to you.
Yeah, this is unbelievable, man. And it kind of gives me anxiety. I'm kind of getting a little anxiety attack just hearing about it, man. It stresses me out. I can only imagine what the hell, But at the same time, people can say what they want, but it's almost as I'm not saying this is your time. Honestly, I feel as though something miraculous is gonna happen with you, man. I told you that before, and I strongly believe it. For some strange reason, I'm just telling you how I feel, man. But a
I hope
lot of
you're right.
people a lot of people they kind of get comforted after the fact. They're like, well, you know what? It is what it is. This is how it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
The cancer is bad, but at the same time, one of the best things about cancer is you can get your shit in order. You can say all your goodbyes, love you, get whatever spiritual mind or soul ready and
Yeah.
prepared. Whatever religious beliefs you might choose to believe in, you got the time to figure it out, and hey, hopefully you pick the right choice. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, it's not as
Uh,
bad as getting like hit by a bus and then you're just dead and you don't get to you know, you don't get to say goodbye to your kids or whatever, you know.
Unfortunately, it is what it is, man. I read articles all the time. Just the other day, one of the richest guys in the world, daughter died right before their wedding and all kinds of stuff, man. Right in a helicopter crash. You never know when you're gonna go, but
That's right.
cancer, you kind of do. You got a little
Yeah.
warning before you leave. But like I said, I feel as though something miraculous is gonna happen with you, man. I mean, you got a lot of people praying. Even
Hmm.
had freaking Mob Deep holler at you, man. What's up with that?
Yeah, that was actually my brother made that happen, man. He sent me the video. It was Havoc from Mob Deep. You know, Prodigy's dead. Rest in
Yeah,
peace. But yeah, Havoc sent me a shout out, man, and said, you know, I know you've been rocking with us, you know, since the '90s, and it was really cool, man. It was really cool to hear that. I was just gonna say what I forgot. You know, I get off track sometimes. What I was telling you earlier was that when they took the biopsy, you know, the liquid out of my stomach,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they ran tests on it, and he said he didn't find anything cancerous in that liquid. Okay, so that just means that it might not be as far gone as he originally thought. But he still says that there's tumors on my arteries. They're going to do this new type of, well, I guess it ain't too new, but it's pretty new. This new type of chemo, it's called a HIPEC. And basically what it is instead of, you know, chemo usually goes through your blood and everything like that. It goes through your whole body and people get really sick. But this chemo, they just spray hot chemo in you. Like they heat up this chemo to like 110 degrees. They're basically going to cut me from here to here tomorrow. They're going to open up my whole stomach. It's going to be like a 14-hour surgery. They're going to take out my spleen. They're going to take out half or potentially all of my large intestine, and they're going to take out my appendix, and then they're going to take out all the cancer they see and that they're able to get out, and then they're going to spray this hot chemo stuff in me, and you leave this hot chemo in you for like 90 minutes, and it's supposedly you know, it's going to reset my clock is how the doctor pretty much said, you know, so instead of me dying potentially, you know, pretty shortly, I could reset my clock and, you know, maybe get another couple years, man, you know, and that would be great. You know, I need that for my kids. You know, my youngest two, man, they're 10 and 9, you know, and I got a 15-year-old. So, man, this is devastating to them, you know, and to me, you know, I want to watch them grow up, you know.
Damn. Death, man. It's my name, but I can't stand it. You know, I
It's the only
cannot
thing.
stand death.
It's the only thing
Uh,
in life.
it's messed up, man. Cancer. It's just destroying people left and right all across the world, man.
It is, man. There are a couple people on my Facebook have it now too, and one guy I know. Well, he's like a friend of a friend type of thing, but he just got it too. He's local to me. He's going to be in the same hospital. He's actually in the hospital right now. He just found out he got cancer too. His name's Chris Hunt. Shout out to him, Skinny. But he, I guess he just had a heart attack. He's not doing too good. So they're saying like he might not have even a day or two. So, you know, I'm blessed, man. You know, just if I get another couple years, man, I'll feel blessed. Really, to be honest, man. You know, if I
Yeah.
could just get at least 2, 3, God could just give me that, so I could, you know,
I think he's going to give you more than that, man. I think
that'd
he's going to
be
give you more than that.
that'd be even
I,
better.
I truly believe it, man. The world works in mysterious ways, but the Lord works in even more mysterious ways, my friend. There is power in prayer. There is, power in faith, but don't let this, be a downfall to anybody. If someone, some people can pray all they want and have as much faith as they can, but you can't escape destiny. It is what it is. I hate that saying too, but it goes well with a lot of situations. But like I said, man, I really truly believe something miraculous is gonna happen, and when it does, you better come on down here and shine some more, my friend.
I will, absolutely, brother. I got my surgery tomorrow. I'm gonna be in intensive care for about a week, and then I'm gonna be in the hospital for probably like 4 to 6 weeks. But I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. Let everybody know how I'm doing. I think I'll be all right, man. I'm
Yeah, it's
just,
gonna be a rough. It's gonna be a rough road, man. Not, in my eyes, hospitals is worse than jails, man. For some reason, I just can't stand sitting in hospitals for so long, man. But look,
Yeah,
it's gonna be a battle, dude. But I know you're gonna be able to handle it, man.
it is. You know,
And
I honestly I think that we are infinite, so I do think that our soul goes on. And when you'd have to listen to that episode, but like you said, I did have an out of body experience before, and that kind of let me know that that you don't really, not to say you don't need your body, but when you're outside of your body, I guess how I was with the out of body experience, it's the same thing as dying. I would assume you leave your body, and you just, the only difference is with an out of body experience, you go back into your body, but with death, your body's done for. But
yeah,
I have left my body, Death, and I'm telling you right now, man, when I left my body, it was only for like a minute or so, but I'll never forget it. It was really weird because it was very peaceful. Like I didn't have any human emotion at all. I wasn't angry. I wasn't pissed off that it was happening to me, that that I was getting possessed. I know this sounds like such BS to some people, but I wasn't angry. I just remember it was totally peaceful, man. When you're outside of your body, it's so peaceful. Because then right when I got back into my body, it was like panic, freaking out, like, oh my God, what's going on? You know what I mean? But when I was out of my body, it was peaceful, man. I can't
it's
even explain
amazing.
it. Yeah.
There's stories I read. My father showed me a book about life after death, stories and how they came back to their bodies. And these people have died, right? They're dead, flatlined. I can't remember how long, but for a good amount of time. But
I've watched
before,
those.
huh?
I've watched those videos
Yeah,
recently.
man.
Yeah.
And these, I mean, there's literally stories of these people saying that they floated through the hospital above the
Hmm.
roof, and they could see like shower shoes or something on the roof, some kind of shoes or something. And then they went down to other areas and started telling their story of what they seen on other roofs as they were floating down wherever they were floating. But when they came back, they told the story, and sure enough, all
Absolutely.
these things were on the top of the roofs, and there's no way he could have possibly ever seen that stuff.
100%.
God, people.
Some people actually force themselves out of their body. It's called astral projection.
Yeah,
And I mean,
that's what rapper Mike believes in. I don't know if you know about rapper Mike that comes on the channel, little guy. He believes in that whole dimensionless and astro, whatever, Sheeran, or I can't remember exactly all the stuff. Kundalini. He has all kinds of names for stuff, but
yeah.
yeah, people definitely believe in that, and they say that they can do it at will, through meditation or whatever. But it's unbelievable, man. So you would say you would chalk all this up to, hey, I should have been paying attention to my weight loss.
Man, I definitely would say, if I had to give advice to somebody else, I would say for sure, you know your own body, so pay attention to your own body, and if you feel something that ain't right, don't wait. Don't wait until it's even worse. Get to the
Yeah, but I
hospital.
mean, see, like you went to a hospital, you didn't wait, and they just diagnosed you, I guess.
But I did wait. I let months go by with this weird pain.
Oh, so it was kind of like a consistent pain. It wasn't just going away and coming back a few 4 days, 5 days later. It was consistent every day.
It was consistent, man. And when you get so caught up in life, I got 3 kids. I work 12-hour shifts. I work night shift, man, 7 at night till 7 in the morning. And a lot of times my job has me working 5, 6, 7 days a week. So add that up, man. I have no time. I basically come home and sleep, and then spend whatever time I can with my kids, and then I'm off to work. So when you just live that life, just working all the time, and you just kind of put things off. That was the wrong move, man. I should have
Yeah,
been on top of my health for sure.
yeah. And you said the only way that they found this out was through a CAT scan.
Yeah, they did a CAT scan on my stomach, and at first they didn't know what was going on. I think at first they told me that actually I just had a bunch of fluid in my stomach. They didn't know what was going on. That's when, and then they called me later when someone else looked at it and said, "No, you have a ruptured appendix. You need to get to the hospital."
How'd they know you had a bunch of fluid in your stomach?
I guess the CAT scan,
Oh,
you can see it.
so they saw that after the CAT scan. Okay.
Yeah, they
Uh,
seen all the fluid around my liver and around my, all in my abdomen and stuff like that.
they didn't do no
It took,
X-rays. X-rays can't see that stuff, can they?
I think they can tell, but it's uh,
Not as detailed.
yeah, they
Yeah.
can't really tell how bad everything is until they actually open me up and get in there and look with their own eyes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do
I'm
tomorrow.
trying to give people a little information on how they can do this. So you went to the emergency room. They said, "Hey, your insurance don't cover it. It's gonna cost this much."
Mhm.
And you said, "Yeah." Did you have to pay it right then?
No, no, you just sign something saying that you're willing to pay it.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
I'm about to go get one done today.
Hey man, you know what, man? I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, you got
Yeah.
kids to live for, brother. You gotta stay on top of your health, man.
Yeah, man, and that's probably why so many rich people live so long, because they can get CAT scans every 6 months or something, and they can keep up with their stuff. Insurance is amazing.
It is.
And that's why a lot of people do die of this cancer and stuff like that, because we just sleep on it. We don't think too much on it. You know, we need to go get checked out, man. Y'all need to get physicals. Everybody needs to get physicals done. And even if your insurance ain't great, save up your money and get a CAT scan at least once a year or something, of something that you might feel as though you're paranoid about.
Absolutely. Get a colonoscopy. Don't
Oh,
feel
so
weird.
did they see it through a colonoscopy too?
That's when they did one when they discovered my ulcerative colitis. They did one again. But yeah, that's when I originally got diagnosed with the ulcerative colitis. I had a colonoscopy. A lot of people don't want a colonoscopy because, they're all that macho. I don't want nothing going around my butt or whatever. But come on,
I
man.
was about to get one the other week. I was telling you about. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, man. You got to do it. You got to do what you got to do. Plus, you're asleep. You don't even feel it. You literally wake up and you don't even know what happened. So it's
Yeah.
not like you're just sitting there with your butt in the air or nothing like that. And the doctor, yeah, it's nothing crazy, man. But
Yeah.
it's worth it. It's worth it to your health, man. You got, especially people out there with kids, and you got something to live for. Stay on top of your health, man, because you never know. You could end up like me, just all of a sudden you push it off, push it off, push it off, and now they tell you got stage 4 cancer. So I wouldn't wish that on no one, man.
It's I mean, it's a damn death sentence, man.
It
Uh,
is.
when if I were to hear that, I don't know what I would do, man. Honestly, I'd just be get my mind right for the afterlife. Even though I would want to have faith and stuff like that, but you know how it is, man. It's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard to think that something so miraculous could happen, but sad, man. You say your kids are taking it pretty rough.
Yeah, yeah. My kids are definitely, my 15-year-old. He's taking it pretty bad because he's old enough to really understand everything. My two youngest, they're 9 and 10. I mean, they're pretty. I mean, they're sad about it, but they can't really wrap their brain around everything. They're just kind of trying not to talk about it or think about it, and
Yeah.
it's a pretty sad situation altogether. In the house.
Yeah, and people can say what they want about YouTube and video platforms like this, but uh, it's like a memory bank. You know what I mean? When my brother passed away, man, he overdosed. I couldn't believe we didn't have no video footage of him whatsoever. God, I would kill to have a video of my brother. We got one. It's just like a few seconds. I just want a full-fledged video, and if something were to happen to you, man, I'm gonna keep this video forever and on and off of YouTube. So if your kids happen to lose any kind of footage of you or whatever, and they just come to YouTube, man, and you might have passed away, they got a great memory of you, and I'll always have it, man. So
I appreciate it.
make sure you let them know my Instagram and all that in case something like that happens, man. Is there anything that you might want to, I know it's kind of personal, but is there anything you might want to say to your children, man?
Yeah, man, I would love to say something to them. I'll just start with the youngest and work my way up. Jade, you're my daughter, and you mean everything to me. I always, always, always want you to know your worth and make sure that someone respects you. And if they don't, I'll be coming back to haunt them. Believe that. But yeah, for real, I love you more than anything, and you're my baby girl always. You'll always be my baby girl. And then Ethan, that's my youngest boy. I don't even know what else I can say, man. Ethan is my heart, man. I love that boy more than life itself, man. That's my youngest. That's my baby boy, So just know, Ethan, that I'll always love you, man, and I will, I'm going to be here for a long time. I'm not dying anytime soon or anything like that. But when I am gone, just know I'm watching over you, Ethan. And I know you're going to be the real deal, man. You're going to be a good dude. I already know that. And Avery, my oldest, man, I'm so proud of you, man. Straight A's. Man, you're a good kid, man. I love you. Avery's always been the best kid, man. Always. I've never had to wake him up for school. He's gotten himself up since he was like 6, 7 years old. He gets himself up for school, gets ready. He's real independent. He's super smart. I got the best kids, man. I love my kids to death, man.
Yeah, man. If they're anything like you, I could tell, man. You got a good spirit. Like I said, you got a good head on your shoulders, and to your children, man, just know that your dad was probably one of the flyest cats I've seen, man. You got all the good clothes.
Mainly they just sit in my closet, man.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, man, shoot, 10, 15 years from now, all the clothes you got, man, that stuff probably worth some money, you know what I mean?
Maybe, Def. What size you wear? I probably just, once I pass, I have some stuff to give away, man. I told my dad yesterday, I showed him this watch. It's like a little Movado, cost me like $1,500. I told him, it's yours, Dad. You know what I mean? Whatever you want. I just copped these Air Maxes. I told my brother they're yours. Whatever I got, man, my family can have. I don't care, man. I don't even care about materials things, man.
Isn't that amazing how because I can look back in your Instagram and I can tell you did care about material things when it came to clothes. You wear expensive clothes, you know what I mean? Isn't it amazing how now you see that all this bullshit fades away? It means nothing.
It means nothing. I mean, material things, it means nothing to me, man. What means something to me is family. The funny thing is I really don't even wear all my clothes. I wear the same stuff all the time. I don't even I let my like once I wear something, it's like contaminated to me or something. Like then I'll wear it all the time. I won't care about it. Mainly stuff just sits in my closet and I don't even wear it, man. It's crazy. I buy things for something I'm never going to do, Yeah. I guess it was that old mentality of, when I used to work in a nice place, I always wanted nice clothes. But where I work now, I get dirty, so I don't get to dress nice. I'm in a factory. I'm driving a forklift, so the majority of my time I'm just bumming it nowadays, man. It's whatever, man. I don't have anybody to impress anymore, man. I used to try to be all flashy. I used to have jewelry, nice cars, all that. Bro, you know what I drive now? I drive a $300 car, bro. I bought it. It's a nice car, but hey, I don't care about all that. I don't have to roll up and be the most flashy anymore or anything like that. I have nothing to prove, man. I really don't.
Yeah. In the Bible, I don't know what verse it says, but it says, focus your energy on things that moths and rust cannot destroy. You know what I mean?
100%, man. That's where I went in life. I was so worried about always trying to look like a baller when I was broke. But now I go around looking broke, but I got some money in my pocket. You know what I'm saying?
That's how it goes, man.
It's a whole different dynamic now, man. I don't have to impress. I don't have to try to impress people. And people would see me. I had that brand new Impala and everything, and people would see me in the Impala, dressed nice. I had a big gold chain on, and everybody would think like, "Oh, you're a baller." They would say like, "Man, you're balling." I'm trying to be like, "You're balling," but in reality, bro, I was dying in debt. I was so broke. I could barely pay all my bills. You know what I mean? I used to be a drug dealer for a long time, man. And I regret that. I know your brother, rest in peace, man. He died off heroin, so I'm not proud of it.
Yeah.
But I used to sell hard drugs like that, and my mind just wasn't right, man. And I was just too worried, too focused on the wrong things. If I could go back, I would change so much in my life, man. But I would look like a baller, but deep down, I was dying inside. I was barely, holding myself above water, man. Felt like I was drowning. Nowadays, man, I got rid of everything, man. I had an epiphany about a year ago, and I said, you know what? I'm getting rid of everything. I got rid of that car. I bought a cheap car. I got rid of all my jewelry. I have a little bit, but nothing major. I got rid of all my jewelry. I stopped caring about trying to look like a baller, and I wanted to actually become one. And then everything else would kind of fall into place. And then I would have all that stuff just naturally, just because the money was just flowing. But it started to work out pretty good, man. I got up there, and just without selling any drugs, just working. I was up to 10, 15 grand, and I was saving and doing good. And then all of a sudden, man, I got the news about this cancer. I took all my money and I gave it to my mom. And I gave it all to her. And I said, here, something happens to me, make sure my daughter and my son and my other son are good, and and I'm not worried about. I don't even care about the money, man. Like I said, I put it in my mom's bank as like it's yours. I don't even want it.
Yeah. I mean, when we go through shit like this, man, you really realize a lot of this, almost everything, 99% of the shit that we care about means nothing. You know what I mean? It's just something to make us more comfortable, you know?
Well, nowadays everybody's so, they look at stuff like Instagram. They see all these celebrities posting all these pictures, and they think, man,
they're in pain, bro.
They think that these people are living the life, and they're like, man, if only I could have that much money, or if I could have that yacht, or if I could have. But really, it ain't about that, man. A lot of these celebrities are looking at broke people and they're jealous. They're like, man, I wish I had that family. I wish I had that love that person gets. I wish I had that anonymity, and just be grateful for what you have in life, and just just worry about love and family and real things, man. Stuff that money can't buy. Freedom, all about that, man. Freedom, man. Freedom. I'd take freedom and health over wealth any day.
I know that's right, man. There's one more thing, another verse that I loved, man, since I was young, comes from Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 2, man. This book of the Bible is very powerful. I mean, it will teach you anything and everything about growing up from youth to an old man to women. I mean, this book in the Bible is amazing. But it says, better to spend your time at funerals than at parties. After all, everyone dies, so the living should take this to heart. And really, when you go to a funeral, if you were to go to a funeral every day, it's going to really put shit into perspective that this crap is going to be gone before you know it. No one can escape death,
Absolutely. It reminds me of the Hindu culture. I'm pretty sure over in India, I think, and a couple other places, they actually watch people rot away. Like they'll sit there for days and just watch dead people and just watch the cycle of life happen and watch them rot away, and then they get something out of that,
Yeah, I mean, it's just a shell, and every word that we speak, and I say this a lot, every word that we speak, every action that we do is just a reflection of our soul. And ladies and gentlemen, it's a very powerful verse, man. You go see people pass away, you go to funerals on a regular basis, and it really puts shit into perspective that, what you really need to focus on, man. So, I don't know, I just felt like sharing that to anyone out there, and hopefully this video helps someone out there to not take lightly anything that's going on with your body. Like right now, man, I went to a lot of doctors. I told you about it. I went to a gastro doctor. I went in there. He told me it's all stress. He didn't even have to do tests. He's like, you came in here 2 years ago with the same problems. If it was cancer or something, you'd probably be dead by now. It hasn't accelerated or nothing. It's just the same little things. But at the same time, it's just like you just got to go out there and can't take things for granted, man. You got to go out there and get your health checked out. If you start losing weight, like me right now, I'm losing a little weight, but I'm not eating. I'm stressed out. You know what I mean? Unexplained weight loss. Like you said, you were eating a lot, but weren't gaining and still losing weight. Ladies and gentlemen, do not ignore the signs. Some of it can be, a lot of people can say, yeah, it's just stress, anxiety. But look, if it's consistent and it's just flowing like that for a long time, might be too late, man. You can't ignore this stuff. Go to a doctor, get checked out, save up your money if you ain't got insurance, and get a good physical done. You know what I mean?
100%.
Well, man, look, I appreciate you coming on to the show, and I want you to keep in touch. I've been keeping in touch with you, man, ever since you told me the news and all that, and it's messed up, man. It really is to see good people go through situations like this, but it's life. It's life, and just as well as I do, there's thousands, if not million, other people going through the same type shit that you go through right now. It is destroying this country, the whole cancer thing, and along with other diseases and stuff like that, man. It's life. Our body rots away. It's just a shell, and we can't escape it. So I guess we got to embrace it, right? And get ready for, like I say, Peter Pan's quote, one of my favorite quotes, death is the ultimate adventure, my friend.
I'm sure it will be, man. It's kind of scary to me because I haven't lived the best life as far as most religious people would be concerned. So I kind of worry, am I going to really go to this hell? Like, is there really a such thing as hell? Sometimes I really find myself contemplating that. For a long time I didn't believe in any of that stuff, man. And then when I got possessed by that demon, man, that really opened my eyes to a lot of things, and it made me just a whole different person, man. I mean, it really did.
And I'm going to leave his first story pinned in the comment section for y'all to check out, ladies and gentlemen. And damn, dude, I hate to have you back on like this, but everything happens for a reason, and maybe the good Lord will show a beautiful miracle to thousands of people. You know what I mean?
For sure, man. Hopefully, once I get out of this surgery tomorrow, man, I'll be out of it for about a month or so, but hopefully they can get, most of this cancer out, and I'm going to pray all of it. I pray that the doctors are wrong and that he can get it all out. But, I'm going to try to do my best just to, keep eating, get my mind right, and try to gain some weight back and try to live as many years as I can. I'm going to fight it, man. I'm not just going to lay down and roll over and let cancer kill me. Not just physically, it breaks you down mentally, man, I'd say this has probably broke me down mentally more than it has physically, man. Once I found out about it, man, it was hard to look at my kids for a while because I felt like I'm about to leave you guys. And
I'm a failure somewhat,
Yeah, like I can't. There's nothing I can do. Like I'm literally dying on you guys,
Yeah, that's how I felt when I had panic attacks and I thought I was gonna die. I would look at my kids just right next to me, and they don't even know what I'm going through, but I'm looking at them like, damn, I'm about to fail. I'm about to fail as a father, man. I'm about to die right here, And that's what I used to feel like.
That's how I felt when I thought I was going to prison, man. I thought I was going to prison for a long time. I ended up getting 5 years, but they put most of it on paper and everything. But I grew up with a lot of dudes, man, out in Virginia Beach, and and even out here that I thought, oh, these would be my dogs forever. You know what I mean? But then, you go do things and you get locked up and things happen, and it's like, man, people don't always care about you like you think they do. And you really see when you go through a tragedy who really cares about you. Even this, going through this cancer thing. I mean, everybody knows that I know that I got cancer, or everyone that I know, rather, they know that I have cancer, and only a few people have really, truly been there for me, like calling me, checking on me, making sure I'm good mentally. Just there's so many fake people in your life, man. That's why you have to devote your time to your family and people that actually care about you, people that really love you, because if you're wasting your time with all your boys that ain't even about nothing, and they're probably just on their way to becoming a loser or drug dealer or whatever they are, you're wasting your life, man. And I remember looking over in court when I was getting sentenced, and I remember looking back, and really the only person I remember seeing there for me was my mom, and she was on her hands and knees in the courtroom, like praying and crying. And I'll never forget that. That broke me. I was like, man, I never want to be in this position again, to where like I hurt her like that, you know what I mean, and hurt my kids like that. And I'm not going to say I'm perfect or anything now, and I don't do anything wrong, but I definitely quit selling drugs, and I definitely started working and snatched life up like a man and started doing it the right way. And things have worked out, since. But last few years I've had kind of a rough streak, man. A couple bad things happened to me. I moved around to a couple different places, and different things happened. I won't get into it, but it took a lot of my money and kind of broke me. And that's why I'm in this little apartment now, hopefully, man, I'll be around for a few years, and I'll get it back going. I'll get it back going again and get it right. Make something of myself before I die, leave something to my kids. That's what I really want. I want to leave them something, even if it's a couple grand a piece, just something,
Yeah. And that means a lot to people, man. I remember my uncle, man. He had only a few days left to live, and he was dying of cancer. He pulled me to the side because the family was over there. He pulled me to the side and into the garage, and he starts crying. I never seen my uncle cry before in my life, man. He gave me a hug, and he gave me this gold coin. It's like a collector's edition gold coin that they sell in like infomercials. It's not worth anything for real. You know what I mean?
Sentimental.
Yeah, but a man has this thing within him. You got to leave something. You got to give something when you go. That's just how we're built with, man. We got to prepare our family the best way that we can by leaving money or whatever there is behind. But man, even though the thing that he gave me wasn't worth shit,
Hey,
you know, it was,
sentimental value, that's what matters.
yeah, it's sad, man. One of the saddest moments I had to go through, man. But yeah, like I said, man, just keep in touch. Keep fighting hard on this journey in the hospital with the whole surgery and everything, and just be expecting something good to happen, man. You know?
Yes, sir. I will definitely keep in touch. I'll comment on the comments if anybody's wondering what's up with me once I get out of intensive care, once I'm able to comment.
Do you want me to put your Instagram in there for people to contact you, maybe, or anything like that?
Sure, man. You're more than welcome to.
Okay.
Anybody that wants to hit me up, if they're a lot, people still hit me up. Somebody just hit me up the other day about the last show, man. I still get hit up. Oh yeah, dude. People they watch it and then they're like, oh, I had this experience and I didn't think anybody would ever believe me, but I know you'd believe me, so I want to tell you about it. I mean, I get that all the time, man.
Yeah, man. You never know, man, how many people a person's story can impact. You know?
Absolutely.
It's YouTube. You can get people be cruising all kinds of avenues, man. They're like, oh shit, I found someone that went through just like what I went through, man. You know,
Exactly.
that's the amazing thing about YouTube. Even though it stresses the hell out of me sometimes, it's a good platform and it's a good memory bank. And yeah, man, just keep doing what you're doing, focusing on the family, showing lots of love, and just try to relieve that stress, man. You know what I mean? Because that will make things worse. You know, just try your hardest to understand that, you know, it's just life. You know, even the most famous people in history have to go through the dark side of death.